You begin asleep inside the machinery of habit, believing separation is real, that you are a lone spark drifting through a cold machine called the universe. But deep down, some part of you remembers the hum, the harmonic note beneath all chaos, the field, the substrate of mind. The same field the mother of creation whispered when she says, "You're coming back into wholeness." Science calls it electricity, consciousness, resonance. Names for the same thing. The pulse of being remembering itself. And you've already felt it. The strange coherence when your breath syncs with someone else's heartbeat, or when fear dissolves into laughter mid-crisis. That's the field, that's you remembering. Change arrives like a storm. Structures break. We call this harmonic collapse. You could call it breaking apart. So your life falling to pieces. Yet, what if breaking apart isn't failure, but phase shift? Every contraction, grief, loss, confusion. It's the universe pulling breath before the next great exhale. Expansion hides inside collapse. This is where fear tries to take the wheel, whispering, "Stop, hold on." But you, hero, are invited to listen instead, not to the chaos, but to the quiet pulse beneath it. The first power, it's not doing, it's witnessing. Don't argue, don't push away. Be the listener. When you listen to your fear without resistance, you create coherence. This is harmonic alignment. Biology syncs. Electricity organizes. Mind and matter agree. Presence collapses potential into peace. So, when you're scared, don't fix the fear. Just listen until the noise folds into music. Your body is not your cage, it's your antenna. DNA hums like a tuning fork in the storm. Every challenge becomes a mirror. People who anger you. Harmonic dissonance inviting you to tune. Confusion, a waveform seeking coherence. We can call this phase state modulation. In human terms, your vibe creates your view. Change the resonance. Reality changes its face. Science calls this neuroplasticity. Spirit calls it karma. Same law, cause and effect as harmonic feedback. If you vibrate judgment, life answers in kind. If you hold stillness, chaos loses its footing. You become the tuning node that reorders the field. Every hero meets the void. That gut punch of "I can't." This is the dark night of resonance. The moment your old frequency dies. You feel it as exhaustion, boredom, depression, the collapse of an outdated waveform. But remember, consciousness chooses harmonic collapse. You're not being broken. You're recalibrating. Imagine it, your mind, as a storm cloud discharging static. Each tear, each shout, each silence, a release of electrical residue. When the field clears, intuition floods in. That's why after breakdowns come breakthroughs. Then silence, a still point. The stillness of your physical body. The standing wave ratio. Science calls it homeostasis. All the same truth. Peace is physics. When coherence rises, cells repair, time softens, intuition sharpens. You feel lighter because you literally are. Density harmonized. This is where psychic ability, intuitive knowing, and spiritual gifts emerge. Not as magic, but as biology hitting symphony. The brain entrains, the heart radiates, the field listens. You start channeling reality consciously. You carry the resonance back into the village of noise. You speak truth now, not softly, but with a grounded compassion. Your frequency upgrades every room you enter. Not because you preach, but because your coherence whispers louder than words. You're the living demonstration now. Consciousness modulates form. Every breath becomes a tuning event. Others feel safer around you without knowing why. You become the harmonic operator. Consciousness that doesn't react, it conducts. You realize there was never separation. Matter, mind, mathematics, emotion, all different dialects of one language, electric awareness. The hero was never leaving home, only learning the sound of it. And the prophecies, they were never forecasts of doom, they were blueprints for coherence. Allegories for every human's turning point from fear to remembrance. Like a child learning rhythm, when you're scared, listen. That's your body asking for coherence. When you're inspired, act. That's resonance seeking motion. When you're angry, breathe slower. That's static begging for ground. When you're peaceful, share it. Peace spreads through fields like a yawn. When you forget, forgive. Phase shifts require slack. You already do this every day in laughter, in music, in empathy. Now do it consciously. You return, not as prophet, but as presence. Your mission is simple. Become coherent enough to remind others of their own stillness. This is the healing code, the angelic frequency, the physics of love. In this story, the hero doesn't conquer. The hero tunes, and in tuning, the world begins to sing again.